In today's tutorial, we're going to be looking at making some basic shapes, turning those into 3D, and getting some really cool effects out of those. Today's tutorial is going to be short, so don't blink. Let's get right into this. Let's go ahead and create a new composition. Make this 1920 by 1080. Click OK. First thing we want to do is draw some shapes. So I'm just going to draw a rectangle here. Nothing fancy. I'm going to give it a stroke. If you hold down Option and click Stroke, that'll automatically cycle through the stroke mode, so you can go from gradients to colors. And we'll just leave it at 100 there. Let's go down into the path and then roundness. Let's go ahead and round this shape just a little bit, something like that. And draw another rectangle, and probably something like so. And then I'm just going to draw some shapes here. So with my pen tool selected, you can hit G for pen tool, or you can select the pen tool up in the toolbar. And I'm just going to draw that shape and maybe one more shape down here. Okay, that's going to be my shape. Now, you want to make sure that all your shapes are under the same shape layer. So once you have all those there, go ahead and click on Contents, and then we're going to add a group. We're going to select all our shapes here. So all our rectangles, all our shapes, and then we're going to put them in the group. Now that you have the group selected, let's go ahead and make this 3D. And under the classic 3D, we want to switch this over to Cinema 4D. Now that you have that switched over, under geometry options, we want to extrude depth. And let's go something like that. And then I'm just going to hit R for rotate. And I'm just going to rotate this around just so we can see what our extrude is doing. And then let's go back to our geometry options, and then let's extrude that just a little bit farther, something like that. Go back to your group under Contents, go back to your group, and then we're going to add a side color. Under the side color, let's go ahead and add something. Let's go with yellow. Next thing we want to do is animate our shapes. So select the group again, go down to Trim Paths. Under the Trim Paths, toggle that down. We're going to set a keyframe at the end, and we're just going to call this 0. And then about a second and a half, we're going to call this 100%. And under simultaneously, we can do this individually. And you can kind of see what it's doing there. Actually, we're just going to set that to simultaneously and have it all build in at once. That looks pretty cool. Now let's go back and do our main animation. So I'm just going to hit R for rotation, click the orientation, and that's where we want it to end. Let's go back to the beginning of the keyframe, and then we're going to animate this something like so. That looks great. Let's go ahead and hit U, select our end keyframes, and then hit F9 for easy ease. Let's go ahead and pre-compose that by hitting Shift-Command-C, and then we'll just call this Shapes. And then under the layer, we're going to go to Layer Styles and add a stroke. Under the stroke, let's go ahead and make that just a little bit thicker here. That looks pretty good. And then we also want to add a new solid, and we'll name this BG for background. And then under our effects panel, we want to search for gradient ramp. I'm just going to toss that on the background layer. And then we're going to select, let's go with a blue. And then our end color, we're going to go with another blue. That looks great. And then let's switch this over to a radial ramp. And then we'll just put this in the middle here. Go out to the edges like so. That's a little bright there in the middle, so let's tone that down just a little bit. And then let's bring that background down to the bottom. Let's go back into our shape layer, P for position, and then I just want to animate this just so it goes a little closer to the camera. So I'm going to put that there, and then actually I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to have this start closer to the camera and settle into place. I'm going to click both of those, and then I'm going to say time reverse keyframes because I kind of like it the other way. It's maybe a little too close to the camera, so let's back that up just a little bit. And then let's move this over. Perfect. I'm going to select that end keyframe, hit F9 for easy ease. Go back to our main composition. And there you go, guys. You can see how quickly we can make some really cool things just using the pen tool and some shape layers, adding some motion to it, and that's it. If you like what you're seeing, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of these tutorials. I'm Julio, your motion sidekick, here to help you out on your motion side quest. And until next time, love you guys. Peace out.